Hi everybody and welcome to the M word. Now, the M word, the menopause, the change, or that conversation that has had so many taboos for so long, it's starting to change. So 50% of the population is female, so that means at some point in our lives we will be going through the menopause. At any given time, 1 in 3 of the population are experiencing perimenopause or menopausal symptoms. I mean, look around you. It could be somebody that you live with, somebody that you work with, somebody that you socialise with will be experiencing some of the symptoms we're going to talk about today. And that can be a good thing, it can be something that people struggle with. It doesn't matter, everybody's journey is different, and that's what we hope to talk about today. And today we're joined with 4 lovely advisors who are going to talk to us about their own personal journeys, and we hope that you really enjoy it. Now, we've been having this conversation, haven't we, for over 2 years now. We've talked about education, we've talked about how important it is that you feel really confident to have warm, empathetic and really credible conversations with our customers when they need support at this time in their life. And we know you're doing a brilliant job because our customers are telling us. We've been endorsed from a SIPTAC point of view in terms of just how expert you are in skin education, and we're really excited about it and we hope you are too. So why don't we go and meet the lovely ladies who are going to join with us today on our menopause journey. Morning, everybody. How are we doing? Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
That's a perkier greeting than I get at home. How are we all?
Good.
Really well.
Lovely, thank you. Ready to catch up?
We are.
Now, what are we going to talk about this morning then, do we think?
Might it be the menopause?
It might just be the menopause, Kim. So listen, thank you for giving up your time. Really appreciate it. We've all been talking about menopause and menopause education now for 2.5 years? We've done lots of work, and what we thought would be great, and thank you again for giving up your time, is if we could just catch up with people who really had something to say, who wanted to talk about where they were on their own menopause journey, just so we could share it with people at home. Because I think what's really important as we go forward is that we keep spearheading this conversation. We keep doing what the brand have really wanted us to do for a long time, and that is hold the hand of millions of women that we talk to every year at a really, I wouldn't say difficult point in their life, but everybody's journey is different, isn't it? So I think the more we know about it and the more informed we are, then the more powerful we can be in terms of having a really good conversation with people. So we up for that?
We are.
Yes, definitely. Excellent. Well, Kim, I know you are, because you're like my phone a friend, aren't you, really, when it comes to this menopause conversation?
I am.
So why don't you kick off then? How are you diddling?
I'm all right. Do you know what? Since going on HRT, noticed a massive difference because I didn't start on HRT at the beginning, and I got put on medication, which helped. But since being on the HRT, I said I think they'll be burying my bottle of gel with me because I'm not giving that up without a fight.
But how did your symptoms kind of show up? How long was it before you thought I need to go and talk to somebody, or I need to actually get some help?
I probably didn't realise at the beginning that I needed the help. And I look back and I probably lost about 5 years of my life.
5 years of your life?
Yeah.
Well, how did that manifest itself?
Because I think now that I know more about it, I think I probably was really early 40s when I started getting symptoms, but I kind of addressed the mood swings down to other factors in my life. And it wasn't until, as I say, probably 5 years later, mid-40s, that I actually realised, or someone pointed out to me very kindly.
Someone kindly pointed out your mood swing.
Yes. And I went and spoke to a doctor, and they said to me, do you know what, you go down a checklist of possible symptoms of the menopause, and I was ticking nearly every box.
So, I mean, Kim kind of fitted into what you would imagine was like, ABC. Obviously, everybody's journey is different. Does anybody want to pick up the story? Hannah?
Yeah, I think my journey is probably the total opposite of Kim's journey.
I mean, how old are you, Hannah?
So I'm 30 now.
Only 30, wow.
And I started my menopause journey at 25. So
That's no
very
age,
young.
is it? Yeah. So what happened to you?
So I had to have an emergency surgery. I had ovarian torsion, so my ovary twisted on itself and went black and died off as an organ, and I could have potentially died from that. but I had my first ovary removed when I was 17 months old, so I was a little baby and I had tumours, and that was removed, and I was fine until the ovarian torsion, of course, and it meant that I woke up totally different. And because it was quite an emergency, like traumatic surgery, I was in hospital for about a week anyway, so it was totally different, I think.
And when did you first hear the word menopause then after the surgery?
When I came to and was awake long enough for the surgeon to talk to me and check that I was okay, he literally said, "Hi, surgery went great, you're alive. You're
Always
going to
a
be on the
bonus.
menopause now, and good luck. We'll discharge you when you're healthy." And I didn't know what the menopause was other than what I'd just heard from people and things. And to be honest, what you do hear of it was very hush-hush. Like we're all used to hearing people say like a change, and it's very quiet.
Yeah.
So I had to find a lot of it out myself, to be honest.
And I suppose that's one thing we've all learned. I mean, the conversation has accelerated in the UK beyond anybody's expectation, hasn't it, really, over the last couple of years? But I suppose, like, especially when we were younger, like your grandmothers, your mothers, it was just like the word was never said, was it?
Exactly. My nan still doesn't say it out loud, it's a whisper. It's like literally, I'd probably got more chance of hearing my nan swear than saying menopause. It's just something that I just think that they thought, just get on with it. And that's just not okay. It impacts your life
Makes
too
you
much.
think how they coped though back then. I remember coming home from school, my mother like no top on cooking. I didn't know what was going on with my mother. You know, when you look back, but you know, my dad never ever said, "Oh, your mother's going through the change," or we never, you know, you just didn't.
But do you think he realised?
Probably not. Like my doctor wasn't any help. You know, I've got this lady doctor now, and she's the first time she said it to me, I was like, "Oh, really? You know, is this what I want to hear?" Because.
So do you think that you didn't want to hear that you were going through the menopause?
I think probably now, you know, I'm better now when I talk, but I do think, and this is me, you know, I started off, you know, when I was young, coming into these mood swings, I've learned to live with that person. Now this different person's coming, I've got to get used to that person.
Yeah.
It's like, really, and I think, you know, and I still think in my head, yeah, I'm young, you know, I'm young. This isn't something that's happening to somebody like me because, you know, when my friends say, "Lynn, really, I think you need to go and speak to the doctor." Why? You know,
See, it really didn't bother me, but when they said menopause, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried.
You wanted a resolution.
Exactly, and it didn't worry me that it was the menopause, that it meant I was sort of reaching the next chapter of my life.
Yeah.
That never worried me.
What about you then, Ethel?
Well, mine came on early, but not as early as Hannah's, but I had cancer treatment. So I was going through that, which was quite stressful. And because of that, I was actually told by the doctors that this can bring on menopause. So probably a couple of months after surgery, and I've had some lymph nodes taken out, I started with hot flushes, I started feeling irritable, started feeling a bit nauseous. And again, I didn't know whether it was the treatment or was it the menopause, I wasn't quite sure. I was very lucky that I was assigned a cancer nurse.
Right.
So I had someone that I
could
go to, which was brilliant. They helped me through because I wasn't sure which way I was heading, which direction. So that was great. Also, kept it in the family. Everybody was very supportive, but also a lot of close friends as well. But it was quite early, so a lot of them weren't going through it, but were kind of empathetic towards what I was going through. But again, you do feel like should I be having it at this age? Should I be going through this?
Yeah.
But it explained a lot. It explained a lot of how I was feeling and what I was going through. But yeah, I think it helps with the support around you. And like the girls have said, it's all about the support and chatting to people and people that have gone through it as well. So I was very, very lucky.
And how are you now?
I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's been 13 years. So I'm hoping I get the odd moment, but not as bad as I am. So I'm hoping I'm heading down the way.
What is it they say? On average, it takes about 4 years to go through the symptoms, but 1 in 12 what is it, no, 1 in 10 women, the symptoms can last over 12 years.
Yes, which is what I've got.
That is a big chunk of your life.
Yeah,
Do you think
it's
that's
massive?
when you realise that you're going through it? I mean, you could have been going through it for years before that. Is that what from when you decide or when you accept you're going through menopause?
When you decide to accept.
Or is that, you know, I mean, I think if you go through it in 4 years, then you're lucky.
You're very lucky. Yeah.
And it is about feeling confident, isn't it? And I mean, we all started talking about this a couple of years ago, didn't we? We did World Menopause Day 2019, then we've had conferences and all sorts of things, and we've been talking about skin school, and we're kind of like well down that kind of skin school journey now, aren't we? So, I mean, how have you found that in terms of your own education?
I love
it.
skin school.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I think I've learnt more by going through it, but what's great about it is you can keep going back.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to take in, but what's great, it's there and you can go back and you can go over it and you can see it with customers coming in, you feel a bit more confident with them and say, you know, this is what we're trained to be. And they're quite, oh, right, you know, they just think we're makeup, foundation. We're not. We're a lot.
I think they recognise it with a lot more than just their average advisor. I think they know that when
we
they
need a
come
quote
in,
from Linda.
No.
We're a lot more than your average advisor. We absolutely are. Well, I think one of the things this morning, from a conversation point of view, is that the menopause comes in many different shapes and sizes. Everybody's journey is individual. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's experience of it is different as well. And I hope that people watching have really been able to take that away, and it really builds their knowledge bank, if you like. So thank you. I feel quite emotional after all that, really. Now, Kim.
Yes.
I believe you're off to do something now, which you have had a twinkle in your eye about for the last 24 hours. Do you want to share?
Indeed. I am off to Nottingham Store to take part in an experiment with a colleague, Luke.
All right, the lovely Luke, yes.
The lovely Luke. And I'm not going to spoil the surprise too much now. Apart from that, just say I'm going to have a great time. Hope Luke enjoys it as much as I think I'm going to. And I'll report back to you later.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if Luke's in for a shock or a treat. What do you think, ladies?
Bit of both.
Bit of both, absolutely. Well, Kim, you're off to Store 6. I'm going to go and chat to Dr. Claire O'Connor, who is one of our leading research scientists. So she's worked on developing the new menopause products. So she's going to try and drop some of the scientific credentialing into my head so we can share that conversation with everybody later on. And listen, thank you so much for your time. It's been a great conversation. It's been lovely to spend time with you all. Did you enjoy the chat?
Lovely.
Right? Yeah.
Great.
The special, what are we now? The menopause loose women.
Yes.
Kim, have a cracking time in Nottingham, and I'll see you all later on. Yeah.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
So here we are in Nottingham Store. As a menopausal woman myself, I know absolutely how challenging it can be working on counter, doing sales plan, putting delivery out, PDS consultations, all the 100 million things we ask you to do every day whilst managing the symptoms of menopause. So what we want to do is we want to do an experiment, a first for number 7 and Boots. We want to do a menopause experiment on counter. And for that, I'm going to need a willing volunteer. Come on in, Luke.
Hiya, Kim.
All right, Luke, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, I hope you're going to be saying that after we finish with the experiment this afternoon. Perfect, Luke. Yeah, I know you're going to be the right man for the job. Because I know being an ex-business manager and RBM, you're more than used to rolling your sleeves up and getting your hands dirty.
I definitely know my way around the counter.
Amazing. But what I want to just tell you, Luke, is all is not as it seems with this experiment.
Okay.
Because what you're going to be doing is you are going to be wearing this manners vest on counter.
Wow.
This vest you wear over your t-shirt, and what happens is you're going to experience 8 hot flushes in the hour you work on counter. Each hot flush will last 2 minutes.
Wow.
and we'll see how you get on with that.
Sounds really intense.
Do you know what? I think it will be, because did you know 75% of women experience hot flushes even when they're on HRT? And they are the most challenging aspects of the menopause, as they can trigger things like anxiety, brain fog, and loss of confidence. So Luke, we're going to get you ready and prepped now, okay? You're going to go and have a full health and safety briefing, and you can end the experiment at any time by simply removing the vest. However, Luke, I'm going to say I'd really encourage you to keep this vest on for the whole hour, because unfortunately, us women don't get to take a vest off when we're having a hot flush on the shop floor. So Luke, are you ready?
I'm ready, Kim. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, I can feel that already.
Okay, Luke, let's get going. Your hour starts now.
It is really warm.
He's in full flush. Hey Luke, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad, Kim. I'm feeling very hot now.
Is it your first flush? Let me just do that up, because we don't want you not experiencing the full effects. There you go. Describe it to me.
It feels like real bursts of heat, and it just seems like it's totally something I've never experienced before.
Takes
like,
over everything.
It really does.
Don't
Like,
put words in your mouth there, but...
all you can describe it as is that's all you can concentrate on. It's all you can think of.
Okay, well, we've still got delivery to do, Luke, so crack on. I think he's struggling a little bit now, because that's been 2 in quite quick succession. And I think it's even affecting his dexterity a little bit.
My actual the heat stops now, and I feel like I've totally changed my mind. I can't, now my mind, I'm just thinking about the actual day rather than the heat, and my concentration's definitely come back. I can feel it coming, I can feel the heat coming back and returning. It's almost a bit of fear and dread, actually. It's almost, now it's really intensifying. And I can feel now, again, I'm getting more, my mind is just focused on that feeling of the heat.
Excuse me, could you tell me where the tissue is?
Yes, of course I can. Follow me, lovely. I'll take you over. I believe we keep them around here somewhere. I'll find them. We keep moving them around. Bear with me. I'll try and find them. They're going to be bath, shower. Oh, sorry about that. Whoa, I'm actually sensing quite confused. I'm actually feeling quite confused. Bear with me, I'm just going to find out where these tissues are located. Okay. Bear with me. I knew they were around here somewhere. You're very welcome. Have a lovely day.
Here, we'd just like to have a scan for a foundation match.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Just grab the PDS device. Are you? I don't know where everything is on the counter. I'm looking for foundation parts. I'm having a moment now.
You're having a moment.
Yeah,
okay, what are you looking for, Luke? Let me help you.
Foundation pot. No, foundation sample pot.
Okay. So Luke is looking really anxious at the moment. I think a couple of things haven't gone quite to plan on counter, and I think that's really thrown him with the heat. It's affecting the way he's speaking, it's affecting the way he's interacting with the customer, and you can see that he's perspiring. I think he's conscious of that, and it's really, really changed his behaviour on counter. Luke, you can put your delivery down now because your hour's up and your menopause battery is dead. Okay, talk to me, give me a summary of how the last hour's been for you.
The last hour for me has been something which I've never experienced before. It has been almost torturous in a sense of the dread of when the vest was to heat up, my concentration levels totally went out the window. All I could concentrate was the temperature and the feeling of being really uncomfortable, And again, waiting for that moment of the vest to cool down and go back to a normal temperature was all I was thinking about. And the difference between being warm and hot and having that hot flush is, like I say, it was totally confusing for me. I couldn't think as clearly as I normally would.
Yeah. So tell me, do you think the experiment has worked, and do you think that you now have a better understanding of how us menopausal women feel?
Absolutely. I have so much more empathy. I really didn't quite know how it would feel, and it really has opened my mind totally to how ladies that are going through the menopause and having those hot flushes, I have so much more empathy.
Well, you'll be pleased to know we can take the vest off you now. I think the experiment has been a massive success, and I actually can't wait to report back to the ladies at the house.
Hi Claire, lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks Lavinia. How are you?
I'm all right. You're looking very glamorous.
Well, thank you.
Looking healthy. So listen, for people who don't know who you are or what you do, why don't you introduce yourself?
So I'm Claire O'Connor and I'm a senior research scientist in skincare at Number 7 Beauty Company.
So we're talking about the menopause today, big conversations. We've probably been having this conversation now for 2.5 years, but we wanted just to keep everybody on the education journey. And I know you have done a lot of work on the new products that are about to come out, which we're all very excited about. Hormones, menopause, puberty, you name it, any point in a woman's life, it's hormones. So why don't you talk us through what happens in our bodies during the perimenopause and the menopause?
So as we age, our hormones start to gradually deteriorate like everything else in our bodies.
Such a good news story.
I know, it is, it's great, isn't it? And as our hormones start to deplete, we start to get some symptoms within our bodies, and our periods become irregular and eventually they stop. But there are a lot of other symptoms that people aren't necessarily aware of.
Go on.
Well, I think one of the biggest ones is it's the impact that the loss of estrogen has all over our body. So for instance, we've got estrogen receptors in our brains, in our muscles and our joints, and in our skin.
Yeah.
But if you start thinking about that brain fog and mood changes, all of this impacts on our sleep. We start to feel more anxious and depressed, and we don't sleep well. And then we get more anxious and depressed, and we get into this vicious cycle of poor sleep, low mood. And we also get things like heart palpitations, a racing heart, and of course the dreaded hot flushes and night sweats, which were just a dream, as you know. And that's not even talking about the impact it has on our skin.
Gosh, you're painting such a lovely picture. So what have we got to kind of look forward to? Where can we go to kind of get support or help if people are experiencing that? And when do people actually know, in your experience, how do people know that they're exhibiting those symptoms?
Well, I think that's one of the key issues, is that you don't know, because there are so many different symptoms of menopause and perimenopause, particularly perimenopause, that can last for 10 years. So, you can start in your early 40s and you think, well, I'm too young for menopause. You're still having regular periods, everything seems normal, but you start to get that bit of brain fog, your mood changes, you might have some changes in your skin, and you don't really understand what's happening to you because it hasn't been widely talked about. It's like, oh, well, it's just about periods and hot flushes and the change of life, full stop. But actually there's so much more. So I think you need to just go and seek advice. I'd always say go and see your GP, tell them some of the symptoms that you're having and talk to your friends. It used to be such a taboo subject. I think we're a lot more open about it now.
So obviously you and Mike and Ellie look after our kind of skin R&D. So from an advisor's point of view, we want to be able to be really confident and talk to our customers about their skin and what happens over the period of their lifetime. So in terms of the effects of the menopause on our skin, what probably are the key things really that we should be talking about?
So I think the impact on skin is the most surprising. It's the most surprising for many people. I didn't know. I've worked in skincare research for 29 years and I did not know the impact that lower estrogen levels can have on your skin.
Okay.
So one of the most confusing things is that your skin becomes very unsettled, and where you've had a skincare routine that you've been really used to probably for many years, it's just not working anymore, and you sort of think, why? So scientifically we wanted to understand
what it was that was causing that kind of thing. And estrogen itself is a really powerful anti-inflammatory ingredient, and it's also antioxidant, so it has loads of benefits within the body. You know, we've talked about the brain and we've talked about our joints, but actually we've got loads of estrogen receptors in the skin, and when those levels lower, what happens is your skin cell turnover starts to slow down. So the top layer of your skin actually gets thicker and the living cells underneath get thinner. So you've not got that sort of lovely turnover that's keeping you looking youthful and fresh. Your skin becomes duller and less radiant, slightly rougher, a bit more sensitive. We find that the barrier itself is now a lot more sensitive, it's damaged, so it's not keeping all the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. And then we also get a sort of a acceleration of signs of ageing, like lines and wrinkles. As also find that collagen starts to reduce as well, so the scaffolding underneath. So all of this can lead to very changeable skin, loss of radiance, thinness, sensitivity, and loss of elasticity. Not really much going for it at all.
So you do see a lot of women coming to counter and saying, like, my skin feels more unsettled, it does feel tighter, it does feel drier. So it'd be really good to start to understand what those changes actually, or what we can do to support with those changes as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I think about 80% of our women that we worked with talked about dryness, and that's quite surprising. So
something hopefully we can help with, yeah?
Well, I could tell you later.
Brilliant. So listen, thank you for joining us. It's a topic of conversation that, you know, it's just so interesting and it's so vast. I hope that everybody at home has found this really, really useful. Thanks for your time.
And you. Lovely to be here. Thank you.
So Kim, you've still got that twinkle in your eye. How did it go? What did you do? How have you left Luke?
I have had the best time, let me tell you. Luke is still alive. I think the quote of the morning from Luke was, it feels torturous. So I'm hoping that when people get from that video is that what us women go through, and learn to be a little bit more empathetic with us.
Luke, if you're watching, what can I say? Thank you for taking one for the team. We've all learned a lot. We've all learned a lot. So listen, Luke did us a big favour this morning, because it is about allyship, isn't it? It is about education. It is about making sure that we are fundamentally joined up on this journey. But I know that there are some things that people will say that just push the wrong buttons at the wrong time. Just quickly, what sort of things do people say that really just kind of push the button?
My husband gripes me when he says, to the kids, leave your mate there, she's not one of those. Really winds me up, you know. Just let's all talk, you know. It's like really patronising. And I know they're trying to understand, but they're not.
So what would you like them to do?
I'd like them to sit down and talk, you know. When you're having a hot flush, is that what you're feeling? You're feeling a bit of... No, I don't know if I would like him to do that, really. I don't know what I'd like him to do, but not do that hush, hush, leave your mate there, because that really gripes me.
Gripes me is a new one on me, so that's not what you say to Linda, because it gripes. So what about everybody else?
Got your happy head on?
Who says that?
Guess, Gary, my other half.
Husbands are coming in for it today, sorry. All right,
but he's not here to defend himself, so no, that's fine.
But you say nice things about him other times, don't you?
Oh, I speak very highly of him most of the time.
Apart from when he says, have you got your happy head on?
Okay, absolutely.
Your mother's on one and the happy head. Anybody else? What about you, Afro?
Certain customers sometimes. So if you're
certain customers, thank goodness.
you're helping them with the shopping and you're having a conversation, but you can feel it coming from your toes and it's coming all the way up, and there's nothing you can do about it, and they can see it as well, and you can see it in the face, and you think, don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything, and you just think, I'll get through it. And then I had, bless her, an old dude just grabbed my hand and go, I'll wait with you till it leaves, and I'm like, aww. And then everybody's thinking I'm unwell. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just a little bit embarrassing, I think, sometimes.
At least that customer was trying to be nice.
She was, bless her.
She was in the empathy club.
Empathy club, just grabbing my hands.
Club before. Crikey. And I know there's a lot more that people will say to just push the wrong buttons at the wrong time. But hey, it's all about education, isn't it? It's all about educating ourselves and helping all of us. I mean, there's 1,300 advisors out there, millions of women that we can help to educate, and men and husbands we can help to educate on a regular basis, which is phenomenal. Okay, so ladies, thank you very much for that. I am now going to go and talk to Manoa, and you all know Manoa from conference, yeah? Lively, plenty to say, big supporter of advisors and the advice that we give, because it's really important to the brand. I mean, everything that we do every day on counter reflects upon how people feel about Number 7 as a brand and our place kind of like in the universe, if you like. So really excited to go and chat to her. So I will see you all later on. Thanks for this morning. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi Manoa, how are you?
I'm great, Lavinia.
Listen, thank you so much for joining us today. I know you are really busy. Now, we all know you as the Queen of Number 7, but you do have a formal title.
I do have a formal title. Unfortunately, it's not Queen of Number 7.
We can fix that.
It is Global Category Director for Beauty, which basically means I'm responsible for all of our beauty brands.
Which is fantastic and lucky for us. We've had lots of conversations, haven't we, over the last couple of years about how we can work to take this brand forward. And you and your team have been a real driving force in what we need to do now going forward to support women as they go through the menopause. You've teased us about it, you've talked to us about it, but what sort of things have we done recently?
Okay, so let me take a bit of a step back.
Yeah.
So our journey on Number 7 started, as you know, nearly 90 years ago. And as part of that journey, we've always supported women in difficult times of their lives and supported them generally. Now, as women go through the menopause, that's actually a stage in life where they're not perhaps getting the support that they should. And as, you know, the number 1 skincare brand in the market, we feel we can play a key role for women. So we looked at that and we were like, actually, we should be out there supporting women. Now, that support, as you know, started a few years back.
Yeah, we probably had that conversation, what, about 2 years, 2.5 years ago?
Absolutely. And we've taken a progressive approach to that.
Yeah.
So step 1 was the training.
It was Skin School.
Skin School, and we talked about that, as you remember,
Yep.
at least sort of 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And that's really important, right? Because that's foundation number 1.
Absolutely.
Educating our advisors so they can have a really informed, knowledgeable conversation with women as they come in. Because we know that women are coming in and talking to our advisors around the menopause, the perimenopause, the impact it's having on their skin and what do they do.
Yeah.
So that was step 1. Step 2, though, is also offering them a range of products that meets their needs.
Yes.
So I'm not going to reveal what they are because we are going to share that, but I can tell you we have developed a fantastic range of products that have been specifically formulated for the skin issues that women experience when they're going through the perimenopause and the menopause.
Which will be fantastic.
Yeah. So that's step 2.
Yeah.
Step 3 is you can't just go out there with a range of products. You have to think about a holistic offering. Yeah. So we are also doing a number of things. So obviously we've got the ProDerm scan, which enables our advisors to truly get under the skin, recommend from our core new range of products that I'm not going to talk about right now.
Tease.
But then we've also got to look at the wider perspective, right? So we are partnering with a company called Clementine. They offer guided therapies, and we have got 6 bespoke therapies that they've done for us. So as women apply their products, they can also have a guided ritual that will also help. And that deals with all sorts of things, including stress, hot flushes, or a number of things. So we've also got that as well. So it isn't just about going out with a range of products, it's the education, it's the products, and it's the full sort of guided rituals.
So it sounds like we've taken a really holistic approach to this moment in a woman's life. Why do you think that's important?
It's really important because you can't just take a slice of a woman's life. And when they go through the menopause or perimenopause, it isn't just about the products they put on their skin. It's understanding the other things that are going on in their lives and offering them services that meet those needs. So that's why we took a holistic approach.
I think the advisors were really excited to hear about that because we've never done anything like that before, have we?
We've never done anything like that. Normally we go out with a range of products and that's it. Whereas this is actually, let's take a more holistic approach. And you'll also see when we do look at the products that it isn't just, hey, it's the standard products. We've actually thought really carefully about the products that are needed, and we've developed it, and I'm sure we're going to say it a few times today, with 7,000 women that are going through the menopause.
That number still blows me away, like 7,000 women. I don't think I know of any other brand who would have cared that much or been big enough to reach out to that number of women to actually hear what it is they had to say.
And that's what makes number 7 different,
Yeah.
right? Because we go deep, and it isn't just, hey, let's try it on 10 women. We actually go really deep and go, let's really understand what they're going through. Let's understand the functional issues, but also the emotional issues as well. Because women feel like the rug's been pulled out of them. They feel like they're losing control. That's really important, right? So you only get that when you work with that number of women, and they worked with us on a whole plethora of things. It wasn't just like, tell us your issues. It was also, what do you think of the products? What do you think of the range? What are the services and support do you need? What's the education you need? So it was really holistic.
So we can sit here with absolute confidence and talk to all of our advisors about the fact that we have covered every base, and they should be super confident about what you're going to talk to them about next when we actually get our hands on these products.
When you get hands on. But I can also tell you there is more to come.
I know that it'll be worth waiting for, absolutely. And we have had our advisors with us over the last couple of days, and I mean, their own personal stories, their own journeys, how they talk to customers, how customers talk to them. I mean, it's really adding to everything that we understand to be true about this moment in time. And our hope, again, having conversations with yourself and other experts, is that we can continue to give them that confidence and continue their journey from an education point of view, so that they really can stand by everything that we stand for as a brand.
Absolutely, 100%. Couldn't say it better.
Thank you. I don't think I'd be able to say it again, actually. I think that's called brain fog, and we talked about that today. But listen, thank you very much for your time. Shall we go and meet the advisors?
Let's go meet the advisors.
So welcome back, everybody. We've moved into the garden to get a bit of fresh air. And now, we've been talking about menopause all day, haven't we? Lots of different aspects of the menopause. And Manoa, you have been talking to us, teasing us for about, I don't know,
at least a year, probably longer.
Teasing us for at least a year about what we're about to share. And obviously, we are fabulously happy that Claire has joined us in terms of talking about science. I'm going to share with you now what we've all been waiting for. You ready? 24th of August, this will be on a shelf near you. What are you thinking? Very purple. Now, just to put this into context, Manoa has come to join us today, which is fantastic. Now, Manoa, you led the creation.
I led it with an amazing team.
With this. So why don't you share with us kind of like why we've ended up where we've ended up?
Yeah, so this started quite a few years ago when we were looking at the market, looking at consumer needs, and what we were finding is as women went through the perimenopause and the menopause, their skin was changing and they didn't understand what was happening, and they were using language like, I feel like the rug's been pulled from under my feet, and they had nowhere to turn for advice for information. Now we know the conversation has moved on around menopause, and we've seen a lot of work from people like Davina talking about the menopause, but we also play a role as a brand, you know, because I'm sure you've had people come into store and ask about what they can do in terms of menopause. Definitely. So you think about it, we're a leading brand in the marketplace. We have always supported women as things and times change in their lives. So it's only appropriate that we also support them during the menopause. And so what we wanted to do was develop a range that absolutely worked for the key signs and impacts that their skin suffered with as they went through the menopause. Now, the range is very different to our other anti-aging ranges. And there's a few things I'd like to point out. So first of all, we've called it menopause skincare. There are other, you're quite surprised at that, aren't you?
Well, it's actually, do you know what I've noticed? It's big writing.
Yeah.
Which is great, because I can read it. The menopause range,
It is big writing.
Yeah.
But you think about it, there are other menopause ranges out in the marketplace, but none of them are being overt around calling it menopause skincare. So how are you meant to work out, is this for the menopause or not? And equally, is it a bit ever something to be embarrassed about? And as a brand, you know, we're proud about the fact that we are supporting women through the menopause, and we shouldn't make it difficult for them to shop. So we've called it menopause skincare. We've gone for quite a unique colour. We think it's absolutely beautiful. When we've tested it with consumers, they've said they absolutely love it. The other thing that we've put on here, which is really, really important, is we've co-created this with 7,000 menopausal women.
Pause. 7,000. How many people watch the adverts on the television where it goes 84% of women, and you're reading it goes 6 out of 13 women. You know, really,
Yeah,
they make huge
7,000.
statements with very few people, and you're sat there saying 7,000.
7,000 menopausal women.
That's huge.
But that's part of our DNA, and
Yeah,
Claire
it
will
is.
tell you more about that. Whenever we do anything, we do it based on real science and a deep understanding of consumer skin, right, and their needs. With this, it was really important that we also spoke to women going through the menopause, and we did everything with them. We didn't just go, oh, do you want to try the product? What do you think? We were like, what do you think of the name? What do you think of the packaging? What do you think of our claims? What do you think about the range of products? Are these the right range of products? So this has truly been co-created with those amazing 7,000 menopausal women, and we've got that front and centre of our packaging.
So come on, Claire. We know, I mean, 7,000 women just, it blows me away all of the time. I think in terms of our credentials and confidence, especially when you're on counter, the confidence to be able to say that to customers when they come in. You've been part of the team that have actually worked on developing these.
Yes.
We're talking about leveraging our credentials in the field of science, where we've led this conversation for years, and I think this is just another kind of feather in our cap, really. What's special about it for you?
Well, I think one of the things that is special is we talk about the fact that we co-created this with 7,000 women. Well, actually, we got the science insights as to what happens physically during the skin in menopause. And then we were able to ask our cohort of women what their issues were. And they matched totally the science, which was fantastic. So then we were able to create a suite of products that could really talk to those different skin needs. So my personal favourite,
Show us.
Yeah. Open it up as well.
absolutely love the
I love the way you
serum.
dress to match the product.
Do you know,
Well done. Thank
purple,
you.
you know,
Thanks very much.
menopausal
Lengths we
colour.
go to.
So, I mean, just look at this, guys. It's got
Oh,
a rollerball applicator, and it's so cooling. So you put that on, so when you're feeling a bit hot and everything in the morning, you just put this on and it's brilliant. And not only that, it's got a lovely fragrance. So just feel how cool that is. You probably just need to turn it to get some of the more product out, but it just feels fantastic. And the beautiful thing about this product is if we think about some of the issues that we get with our menopausal skin, this loss of radiance, this concern about loss of firmness, we've got some fantastic technology in these products that can really target the collagen loss that you get from estrogen depletion. And it's designed to really give you the instant radiance to boost the surface of your skin, so you get that little glow back that you think you've lost.
So that's your favourite. So what next? What about the day cream?
Day cream, do you want me to open that?
Yeah. Maybe go for the
I'll go for the bottom
go
one.
for the bottom.
Don't break a nail.
That's well packaged. So one of the things we knew from the cohort of ladies, and we've already mentioned that, is that there's this need to wear SPF every day, which is music to my ears because we've been trying to get that message across
for years and years and years.
for years and years in my role in Sun. And the fact is that people really want that hydration as well as the protection. So we've got the SPF 30, and then we've got a lovely hydrating complex in there. So we've got something that's going to give you that moisture as well as give the protection. So you put your serum on, and then you put this on. So this is all about protecting and stopping, drying out during the day and helping to rejuvenate that glow.
And I quite like the thought it's a tube as well. The tube is great because a lot of ladies said long nails, getting into the tub. So,
under your nails.
Yeah.
Is it a lighter texture?
Yes, it's really beautiful.
Yeah. I was going to say around the hydration, that is one of the key symptoms that women suffer with when they go through perimenopause and menopause.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I was really surprised at that actually, because dryness seems to be quite rare within skin, but I think 79% of our 7,000 women, 79% had dryness as a symptom.
The serum with the rollerball that they all like. We've got the SPF 30 because we know that's really important. We've been training people for years to increase their SPF. What else have we got? The night nourishing overnight cream in big writing.
Now we absolutely have to touch and feel this one.
Okay.
I'm not usually a fan of night creams, as I tend to find that they're quite heavy for my skin, but this one, I just love it. It does exactly what it says on there. It's light, it's nourishing.
It's almost like a gel cream. Yeah, like a gel cream.
It is actually a gel cream.
Yeah. It's not heavy.
There you go.
That's lovely. It's lovely, right?
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
It's
I love
quite cooling as well.
You're right, really
Exactly. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
One of the things we found as well when we were speaking to women is as they go through the menopause and perimenopause, it really disrupts their sleep, and that can impact the cell renewal overnight. And that's why this product's really important as part of their regime, because the impact that's happening because of the disrupted sleep. I think that's right, isn't it, Claire?
That's absolutely perfectly correct, Manoa. That's amazing. Yes. So our skin repairs overnight, and of course, if you're not sleeping properly, then your skin hasn't got time to do that repair, and leads to exactly some of those problems where you're not getting that renewal, which again impacts on that glow and loss of radiance. So this can really help, and this fragrance is actually quite light and refreshing.
Smell it. If you had to smell a vision, they could. It is.
I think if
smells
you like
gorgeous.
the smell of if you like the smell and the feel of a product, you're more likely to use it. So I think if it's got that nice fragrance.
I just think this might be something super special though. Menopause skincare instant cooling mist. Now, even 100 years ago when I was on counter, this was what a lot of people asked for. So do you want to tell us about this?
Yes, I do. I think it is a game changer.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. And I have been using this product. It's definitely been a miss us not having something like this within our range. I went around the whole store looking for something when I first started to get menopausal symptoms, and I just couldn't believe that we didn't even have a cooling spray that I could use. And I made my own at home, which is obviously that's the beauty of. I just thought I just need something that can cool me overnight. So you imagine you're having a hot flush at night, and you wake up, you spray this on, it's instantly cooling. It's made with rose water, organic rose water, so you get that beautiful smell. It's not sticky, so it's cooling, it's refreshing, but still with the cues of rose that can help you drift off and get back to sleep naturally. So that's great for nighttime, but guess what? You can also spray it over your makeup. So
that's one of the things they asked for, right? I've got makeup on, don't want to be spraying something. That's a big thing they asked for.
Absolutely, and hopefully another winner.
That's great. Would you like to try? What do you think then? What do you think of the range?
Fantastic.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
The cooling spray is definitely one we've been asking for.
The customers are going to love
feel
this.
the cool.
Because they specifically come in and ask, have you got anything for the menopause skin? There's something now there that's going to cater for their skincare need, rather than having to ask them, dig deeper into it.
Yeah.
It's straight to the product.
So any last thoughts, ladies, to share?
Can't wait to get back and sell it on the counter. Can we take this over
I was just going to say,
can I take it over me now?
I think just thank you for allowing us to be part of this and to really make a difference in menopause and putting a firm stamp on history, I think, for women.
Definitely.
Listen, thank you everybody for your time. It's been a great day. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you at home have enjoyed watching it and that you have taken something away from today just to help you when we have this on counter, and you can continue to have those fantastic, well-informed, well-educated conversations with all of those women that we are here to support day in and day out. Take care, and we'll see you all soon.